Vince, in your previous role, I mean, doing what you used to do, what got you into the Six Sigma program? What kind of directed you towards this field?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've always been sort of that dude that thought there was a better way, a cheaper way, a faster way to do things, and it wasn't until I was like I did sort of did it, not knowing what it was. So it wasn't until I actually was introduced to the Lean Six Sigma methodology that it allowed me to articulate what it was that I was doing. So it sort of shifted from this. Um, there's got to be like that infomercial. There's got to be a better way. Like it wasn't that anymore. It became a very methodical approach to solving problems, and that's really what it was. Like I've always been a problem solver. I just didn't have a way of doing it in a scientific measured way, right?
Format,
Like
yeah.
I see lean and Six Sigma as like it's a recipe.
Mm-hmm.
If you follow the steps and you mix the ingredients, you're going to get a positive result at the end. And so it really sort of brought everything home for me as as a way of methodically solving problems. Ultimately, that's what it is.
Right.
It's a problem solving approach, and it's different than a lot of what's done out in business in the world because we know the answers, right? Like,
Right.
oh, I got a problem. I know what I'm going to do about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is not that. This is I've got a problem. Let me work through these steps
To
to
solve it.
figure out what I need to do to solve it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a little bit it's counterintuitive to business in
Right.
the world,
Right.
but it shouldn't be. Like this if more companies were following this,
Mm-hmm.
they would be a lot more successful.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. No, I can think of a few companies myself that I've worked for or currently working for that
Yeah.
would definitely benefit from this. But I guess my main question as well was um, the program itself. Was it self-taught, or did you, you know, go for a course? Did you sign up for a course while working
Oh,
here?
no, I did train with a master black belt who you know, I started out as I went through the progression. I started out as a green belt,
Right.
did that for a bit, and then enjoyed it enough that I was willing to subject myself to further punishment
Right.
of black belt training, and so I went and did the black belt, and then um, from that did a couple extra courses like design for Six Sigma, and because going to the master black belt level, you are an expert, and you're there's a certain level of expertise
Right.
in actually training stuff instead of learning it,
Learning it.
right?
Right.
So it was different. So even though I was looking at the same material,
Mm-hmm.
I had to look at it through a different lens
Right.
of okay, I need to understand this material not from not to use it practically, but how do I teach it to someone like yourself
Mm-hmm.
who wants to become a green belt or wants to learn the skills, and so how do I communicate that? How do I teach that? Teaching is, and that was a big like wake up call for me,
Right. Right.
was because I thought, well, I've already looked at this material. Like how hard could it be?
Mm-hmm.
It's completely different to teach something,
From your view, yeah.
right? And it's funny. I was at a workshop on Saturday
Mm-hmm.
where I got probably like the highest compliment I've ever received
Mm-hmm.
since I've been doing this, which was it was a workshop on Lean Six Sigma for BAs and business analysts and project managers. And then the comment was, you know, you've taken this like really complex topic and made it so simple. Like that to me was the like one of the highlights of my career doing this so
Right.
far is like because if you can take I think it was Einstein was like if you can't explain something simply you don't understand it
Right.
enough.
Right.
If you can take a complex um, topic like Lean Six Sigma statistical and graphical analysis
Right.
and explain it simply so that someone hearing it for the first time understands what you're saying, like you've got it.
Yeah.
So that was a big, you've done your job.
Yeah.
So that was a big compliment for me. I loved hearing it. Made me really happy. Really brought the day up, and it was fantastic. But like, that was the thing, is like, this stuff is not easy. It is complex.
No, but it's true. It's true. I don't know who gave you that compliment, but it's true because
A lovely lady.
the current the current class, or even the previous class, has a combination of people from different fields and people who, you know, might not be too familiar with what, you know, Six Sigma is, but the fact that you're able to explain it and make everyone learn,
Right.
and still, you know, have the entire class, or at least majority of the class, pass the test or the course,
Right.
says it all. Yeah.
Well, remember, I mean, my background is not. I'm not an engineer. I'm not a business student. Like,
Yeah.
my background is in political science.
Yeah. No, but
Right?
I'm referring to the teaching aspect of it, like the fact that you can, you know, teach someone who isn't really into this. So forget
Oh.
the fact that you can learn it, but now you're saying teaching is a completely different.
Yeah.
You know, it's completely different, and I understand, believe it or not. I wouldn't want to be up there.
No, it's thankless. Like, you're and anyways, you're performing all day, but
Yeah.
you've got a job to do, and that's like, I would rather, like, especially when we get into, there was what, 12 people in your group, 11 people in your group, 10 or in, let's say 10, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I can lead one or two projects, but I can teach 10 people to lead one project each.
Makes
That's the value, is like, I'm disseminating my information. I'm sharing. I'm not trying to keep it. You know what I mean? Like, I want to teach you so that you can go do it.
Yeah.
And I'll use it under the guise of, well, I'm trying not to do any work.
Yeah.
Right? I can only solve as many problems as I can solve, but if I can teach 50 people how to solve problems the same way, then we're much further ahead than if I had just done it myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, does that help?
Yeah. It
Awesome.
does.
I'm glad I could help.
No worries.